Whoop, whoop, we're here. There's like 6 wines in front of me. It's Wine Wednesday. It's time to discover a new world-class Canadian winery. We actually just got back from this winery and we have an awesome interview with their winemaker for you guys. And it includes things like Carl posing.
Okay, now
Right, so you have
okay, now
second. Stay tuned.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country, it is 5 o'clock Pacific, it is 8 o'clock Eastern, it's Wednesday, time to sit back, relax, pop a bottle of Canadian wines, and enjoy the show because we have some good footage, some great thing going on today. Mira Boucher, happy Wine Wednesday.
Happy Wine Wednesday, Carl Boucher. It always helps when you have, kind of a difficult day, and then your husband brings you like 6 glasses of wine to taste. Kind of fun.
You know what? I think I know. I understand my psychology now. I think it's kind of a scale. It's directly proportional. If you have a hard day, you bring more wine to your spouse. If your spouse is your business partner, you bring double the more of the wine. So I mean, you try to kill two birds with one stone. And
I was like, I'll pick up all the wines. I'll show them some love, but now I don't know which one's which. So hopefully you know. Oh, you labeled them.
I labeled them, honey. There's a CS, there's a CF, there's a CV, there's a EL.
Ooh, Daryl, you're going to Italy, right? Chianti Classico 2015. Isole
Hey,
Olena.
hey, who? What? Who?
Hey. Is who? 2015. Isole
Oh,
e
okay,
Olena.
okay. I just saw that. Okay, Chianti Classico. Okay, great.
Jim brought you 2 bottles. Tracy.
There you go. Oh yeah, Jim just coming back from Italy. Yeah. Forget about that.
Oh, from Italy. Okay.
But yeah,
So
we
that
have an
meant that I got 6 glasses to taste, but she got 2 full bottles to herself. I mean, she's like kind of one-upping me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Well, yeah. The good news is I don't get drunk. Like I just don't. I just doesn't. Oh, he was in the Netherlands, Carl. He was not in Italy. So the
Okay.
2 bottles
He
are, I
probably,
think.
yeah, probably had an Italian wine store in Netherlands or something like that. I don't know.
No, no. She just means he brought her 2 bottles to taste tonight. That's what I think she means. She'll clarify, I'm sure.
She probably
But
had a real. She probably, if it's like the same skill than you, Mira, she probably had a real fuck bad day.
oh,
So Jim said,
well,
"Honey, it's really bad. There is 2 bottles."
honestly, like I don't drink a lot. It's probably like 2 glasses a week because I just take sips of things. But I have to tell you, when there's a really good wine, it does transform your mood. It does. It just change. It's like a pattern interrupt. It changes your sensory experience, and suddenly you're like, right?
Yep,
Different mood. Boom, done.
absolutely.
So,
I can.
Jim wishes. But so speaking of Jim and Tracy, you guys are coming out, and that is something that maybe others on the show want to know about. It is our Winery of the Year tour, and we decided to make it a like a Winery of the Year celebration tour. So we're starting with the current Winery of the Year, Maverick, and we're going to past Winery of the Years, De Silva and Black Market. because we heard things like, Richard's got some kind of like port style wine that he's been having in barrel for years and years that no one's ever tasted. And we've heard that, Rob at Black Market is doing some really exciting things too that maybe need a first taste as well. And so we thought we'll go do that. And we thought, it's pretty cool when there's good food involved. So we've got a speakeasy involved for lunch, and we've got a dinner literally next to the lake with a private chef involved and transportation included. And speaking of it, Jeanette and Danny are also coming to that. So we can't wait to see you guys. There's a few spots left. So if you want sort of a bucket list Okanagan wine touring day, that's the day. And the best part is, Daryl, you should be here for this part on the 26th. So that wine touring day is on the 27th, it's Saturday. On the 26th in the evening, we're doing the Cab Franc Marathon. So everyone can join in that. It's live, it's virtual. We're going to have Canadian Cab Franc extravaganza. This guy will describe them all live. We will.
I sure will. I sure will. The first box is scheduled to arrive. I would say before the end of this week. There's another one scheduled to arrive early next week, and after that, it's just going to be an avalanche of Cab Franc coming at the door every single freaking day. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. I think we're. More and more that I go through my Canadian wine journey, I realize that Cab Franc on the red side of thing is the grape varietals that I'm getting the more and more excited about, not because of what it is on its own, it's because what it is in terms of each and every terroir where it grows. There's so much diversity of expression of Cab Franc, and that's what's really, really excites me. And all of these emails that I'm sending and I'm receiving back, like in the last couple of days, and that's going to go out in the next few days as well, just get me so freaking pumped up for September 25th at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. That's where the show is going to start. So, yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. If you are in the Okanagan, there's a way to attend the show. You can come backstage and you'll taste the wine almost in the same time that I do. I'm going to taste the wine, and you guys behind the camera going to have the chance. There's going to be some pros around. There's going to be some winemakers. There's going to be some winery owners. So if you're a wine lover and you want to hang out with the pros while the monkey here is just like tasting and tasting and tasting and tasting and feeding you scores and notes while you guys are having fun, it's going to be a real fun evening.
So, awesome. Hey, I want to tease you guys because we are just about to release, like right after this live, we're going to send out an email with the new Carl's Wine Club feature this week. It's a winery we've never featured in the club before. I don't think we've mentioned the name this time yet. If you tuned in the last couple of weeks, you might know what we're talking about because we pre-tasted some of their wines, and they're freaking amazing. They recently won platinum for what? Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir, single vineyard Pinot Noir. I have a hot take about that. We're going to debate the legitimacy of the Wine Line award.
So there's that. I want to tease you that it's in Summerland. This is, I think, the third time that we have featured a Summerland winery this year, which is exciting. They're just the quality of the Summerland wines has really gone up, and we are thrilled to be able to feature it. So put in the chat, put in the comments if you know the winery's name already, or if you can guess. Hint number one, there is a, okay, so hint number one, let's see. This is the winemaker and Carl. They were out at the Syrah Terraces, Syrah in Summerland. That's right. So
that's such a gorgeous view. Oh my God, I would have spent the day there.
And here's another one of the view. Okay. So tell us if you know that winery. And look at the grapes. These are the Pinot Noir grapes specifically. Freaking beautiful grapes. So, and then this is what we ended up doing. Check this out.
This is Waters and Banks. We do work with them once in a while. Okay. There's a 2021.
And that's the winemaker, Sébastien Hotte. So let's see. Does anyone know? Has anyone guessed? Yes, of course. Because Daryl, you've been tuning in, you know all about this. But here would have been the ultimate hint of what we're featuring this week. Okay. Check this out. Check this out. A rock, okay, that's been split in half. And the rumor has it it was by lightning. The neighbor claims he saw it happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Broke it
So
in half.
is it an urban legend? Is it a fact? It is. I don't know. But the rock is there. The view's incredible.
We're like, if it's an urban legend or not, it's our duty. It's our duty to go find out on your behalf. So that's why we had to go on the ATV. It was quite a long afternoon, a big day. And then we have to show you for scale. For scale, this is how big it is.
Okay, now.
See? It's like bigger than Carl. Look at this.
Okay, now.
Well, where is yours? Where is your photo picture?
I don't know. Yeah,
right. One day I'm going to be a producer.
We'll send it in the email. Okay.
Okay. One day I'm going to be a producer as well. One day I'm going to be a producer.
Lorna, get this. Okay. Get this pun. Lorna says, lightning rock rocks.
There you go. Lorna, clever. Very clever, Lorna. You know what rocks? What rocks the most is the freaking lineup. Because 5 of the 9 wines cannot be found anywhere. And
so this is the crazy thing. We don't always know this. We're researching the wines and we're like, none of these wines are anywhere. Like anywhere. So we're pretty lucky.
Mid-August, I sat down with Sébastien, which is the winemaker. He runs the operation at the winery. Ron Kubek was very owner, also very well involved. So we're having a meeting, and I'm explaining the whole concept of Carl's Wine Club. And I'm like, guys, you know what's important is to make sure that we have some wines that are rare. But there's not a big production. There's not anywhere on the market. I think they got that part right. I think they really got it. They got that. Make something special for Carl's Wine Club members, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah. So more than half the wines you can't get anywhere else. Here's the other kicker. Okay, the other crazy thing. This winery wasn't even shipping to Ontario up until last week, and the owner, Ron Kubek, decided to go on the news, and he said, this is outrageous. We were promised there would be free trade with Canadian wine by July 1st. It never happened. Now they're saying maybe in 2026, maybe in 2027. So he said, guess what? We're just going to do it. Secret, a lot of wineries, most wineries already do it anyway. But he went on the news. He went all over the news saying, we're doing it. We know it's a gray zone, but we're doing it. And guess what? In this week in Carl's Wine Club, you can get it anywhere in Canada as well. But here's the even better part. Normally, this winery never does free shipping. And this week you can get an option for free shipping. If you're a VIP Unlimited member, of course, 6 or more bottles are always free through Carl's Wine Club for shipping. But you can also get free shipping for $2.99 or more if you're not a VIP Unlimited member. So that's kind of the crazy thing. Check this out. We were at the winery, and they had they had this, which is pretty spectacular. They just cleaned up at the recent Wine Line Awards. So
Wine Line, and also there was the All Canadian. There was some medal from the All Canadian as well. I mean, they're getting out there with the recently in the last few years more and more into the national competition, and now they're bringing freaking medals. It's really cool.
But here's the fun part. So some of these wines on their menu at the tasting room, they're not in the feature. Of course, you want any wine that a winery has while we're featuring them, just let us know, we can add it. Carl went ahead and picked 9 wines that we thought were spectacular.
Well, because I tasted over 20. Mira, you weren't there that first day when I went out there. I think what was happening with you? I think you had Anyway, so I don't know what happened, but I went there and I tasted over 20 wines with Sébastien and
Okay.
Ron. That was a
And
very
so
long list.
this is the kind of fun thing. So look, their menu is here. They've got one crossed out, the Carbo Syrah, because it's sold out, but not sold out for us, you guys. You can still access it. Bada bing, bada boom. And
Boom,
that one
right
was
here, right
yeah,
here.
yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
Because that's the
and
crazy thing. They have Syrah actually grown in Summerland, and it's very well made, 92 plus points.
oh, very
So
well made. I think, Jesus, Mary, it's an understatement. There's a spectacular Syrah, 90% Syrah, 10% Viognier. I mean, restrain. Only 50, about 48 cases of that was made. I mean, this is old world Syrah, dark, inky. It's the leather meaty, like it's the Northern Rhone style of Syrah that absolutely resonate with my profile. And it's so cool to taste that. And when you stop, look back and rationalize a bit, like, wait a minute. There's Syrah growing in the central Okanagan. I know there's some across the lake on the Naramata bench. Some amazing, amazing Syrah vineyard on the bench. Some of the original vineyard from the bench are Syrah vineyard. But across the lake, where it's there only the morning sun who's facing these vineyards up there, but they found 3 little terraces. And they usually harvest the grape completely at the very, very, very end of the season. He says, Sébastien said sometimes it's a month after they harvest the Syrah on the Golden Mile. So it tells you about the phenolic ripeness and how long these grapes stays on the vines. And yeah, it's really, really cool. So Syrah, which this 2022, with only 48 cases, is not available. This wine was only one flash in the wine club. It got wiped out. They saved 10 cases of it. And here we go. Guess who they have it?
just for us.
Just for us, just for you. This is this 12.5% alcohol, so restrained, not light, not high in alcohol, but great in concentration and in definition of flavors. I love it, love it, love it. So, and there's a few great experience in that pack, in the sense that you can taste 2 Syrahs, right? The carbonic Syrah or the classic Syrah. So you have 2. You have also, we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but there's the 2 Chardonnay from the same vintage, from the same vineyard. One is sparkling, one is still. So 2020 Blanc de Blanc Cannon View and 2020 Blanc de Blanc Chardonnay. Same grape, same everything, but just different method. One is a sparkling, one is a still. So there's some really cool stuff. The carbonic for a $26 bottle of wine is so much fun. It's fruity, it's light, it's a little like you drink it like a gamay. Just like fun wine to taste. This was from the 2024 vintage. So, like you all know by now, 2024 in the Okanagan, there's no grape. So the wineries went down south and trying to do some stuff different. So what I've selected from.
That was
Go
the
ahead.
only way they could keep their. For those that don't know yet, right? So in 2024, they had such a deep freeze in the Okanagan that 80% of the crop was just wiped out. Like there were no grapes in most of the Okanagan.
95%.
Rather than close up shop, a lot of wineries, they want to keep their staff on, they want to keep their doors open, they want to keep the tasting room open. So they went down to Washington State, Oregon, some went over to Ontario. They brought in grapes and they crushed them and made the wines here in BC. So they're calling that crafted in BC. terrible timing with what happened like a year and a half later with the tariffs and this whole fiasco has nothing to do with that. It was literally a decision made quite a long time before, to keep these wineries working, and it had nothing to do with the whole political landscape. Unfortunate timing, yes, but for those of us in the know, we are glad to support them because I think that they needed to do what they needed to do. And some of these wines that are coming out of this Washington State experiment, or crafted in BC, are great. I mean, they're literally made in the Okanagan style by Okanagan people, but using grapes from elsewhere. So it's I find it fascinating.
Well, like talking to Sébastien about his experience of the 2024, he said he made some incredible friendship. He learns also from different growers. So what happened? He literally spent a month and a half out there. He was there every day. He took every single numbers, like all of the data of the grape that was from him. Getting back to Ron, the owner at the winery, and making the decision. He was literally out there in Oregon, in Washington State, making the calls. So I've selected, because I think they made 8 or 9 wines from Washington State from the 2024. I've selected 2 because obviously our goal, Mira and I, is to showcase the Canadian terroir, but it's also showcase the Canadian story. And 2024 is part of that story. And I mean, Lightning Rock made the decision to keep every single staff member employed. No one missed one paycheck. Ron kept everyone employed, and that was the only way to do it. And with Sébastien out there meeting growers, winery owners out there, making connection, finding the plot of grapes that he wanted. And I've selected the Albarino. So the Albarino 2024, it's the one that, whoops, already empty. How's yours? Mine is empty. Yeah. And I think it was very clear. Look, if you look at the bottle, right on the front label, it's called the Cross Border Collection. So I've selected the Albarino, which has a beautiful texture, but also a great mix of citrus and tropical fruit. I think you get both of the 2 different style of Albarino, either the Riox-Baxia, the northern Spain, or either a little bit more tropical style of Albarino. You have a bit of both in there, but yeah. So by Sébastien making the call out there, and they were literally trucking the grapes from Washington State to here, non-stop. Sébastien out there with the crew picking, and Ron, the owner, going from the winery with the trailer, with the refrigerated truck, because he rented for a month a refrigerated truck, bringing the grapes back, not in a trailer, but in a refrigerated truck, and having someone putting it in the press here. So I was absolutely crazy. The process that they did, they pay attention to every single detail. Made in the Okanagan with the Washington State grape, and that was a Syrah, because Sébastien is telling me it's Ron's and his wife's favorite grape. It's Syrah. That's why they always they pay so much attention to their half an acre Syrah at the Elysia vineyard, and so they wanted to make a Washington State Syrah, and they made it carbonic style, which is a completely different style. So the people know the difference. But yeah, really, really cool to have these 2 Syrah side by side, completely different. One is very serious, one is very fun to drink and not pretentious at all.
Yeah, pretty cool to have that. Like, there's quite a few, you mentioned it. So there's the 2 Syrahs you can have from this winery that are fun to taste side by side. There's the sparkling and still Chardonnay from the same vineyard.
There you go, here.
Taste side by side. And then there's the hot take, Carl's hot take, which is, well, there's
before we talk about the Pinot, there's also a Cap Franc. So Lightning Rock
And an algorithm.
Mostly 95% of their wine, and they make a lot of different SKUs. A lot of different SKUs. I think they have something like 30 SKUs. There's over 30 wines that you can pick and choose from their portfolio. Yeah, it's crazy. There's but what they focus, it's single vineyard, single varietals wine. Because Ron and Sébastien, they really want to showcase the terroir of what they do. A little bit we often talk about like what Thomas Batchelder do, right? We often talk about what Elias Sanchuk do, like these kind of guy who really source grape from one specific plot of land. But that's a little bit of the Lightning Rocks philosophy. By using one grape varietals, they barely don't do blends, and from single vineyard, now they put everything together to showcase what is the land all about and the grape, right? So, fun part here. Here's Chardonnay, sparkling Chardonnay from. Oops, sorry. Woohoo! I got excited here.
Well,
That's what Chardonnay does to me, I guess.
I guess. Hey, I mean, we always talk about how lament the fact that there's not that many wineries in BC that do what Ontario does, the Thomas Batchelder style of like dissecting terroir by looking at, do you make a Chardonnay? In BC, wineries will say, yes, we make one Chardonnay. And usually it's a blend of a few vineyards. In Ontario, more and more we're seeing, do you make a Chardonnay? Yeah, we make 8 Chardonnays from 8 different vineyards or 8 different styles or whatever, right? We don't see that as much in BC, but we're seeing it more. And Lightning Rock is a great example with the different Pinot Noirs, the different Chards, and they've been doing that for a long time too. It's not like they're starting to come on board.
No, exactly, right? It was the concept from the very get-go. They established that, so first and foremost, the Canyon View Vineyard, it's been a very highly regarded source of grape for a long time now. If you've been following us, you've heard about Daniel Bonterin, the rosé master, right? So Daniel, back in the day, I think back in 2015, it was 15 or 16. I can't remember exactly. Daniel always sourced the best rosé grape, the best Pinot Noir grape in the Okanagan to do his flagship Pinot Noir rosé. So he started at Kalala Vineyard, organic Kalala, beautiful small plot of land in West Kelowna, right? But before he hit the really iconic Tractor and Vines, who became one of the very, very, if not the very top rosé in the country, Daniel made a stop at Canyon View Pinot Noir for his incredible rosé, and we had the chance to taste that. And if you were part of the club at the very beginning, we featured back then Giant's Head Winery. And back then, Giant's Head had access to the Canyon View Vineyard. One of the best Chardonnay we've tasted at the beginning, in the first 2.5, maybe the first 2 years of Carl's Wine Club, was Canyon View Chardonnay. Remember that, Mira?
Very highly rated, and the Canyon View Pinot Noir as well. Yeah, how did we get introduced to that winery? But they were the
with Lightning, with how we got. I'll tell you how we got introduced to Giants. That was the Goodnerson. When Lisa and Derek came to the Okanagan the first time, they took me to. They knew about that winery, and they took me to Giant's Head. That's when we went there for the first time.
I think we took them there. I feel like they took us to Riverstone. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, I
You
think
might be right. I don't know. Anyway, so it's been a while, but the Canyon View Vineyard always been a very sought after source of fruit. A little bit like the Wismer Foxcroft, or these names of you see on the vineyard in Ontario, where you're like, yeah, I know this is a very it's an incredible source of grape. Canyon View is exactly that, and Ron pulled the trigger and purchased that piece of land. Now he's the exclusive source. Is Canyon View Vineyard, is Lightning Rock. So we have the privilege to have the Chardonnay, the 2020, which is a 5-year-old Chardonnay right now. And to my opinion, in the Okanagan, 5 years of age is the absolute sweet spot. Absolute sweet spot for a Chardonnay. And you'll find that Canyon View has that stony minerality on the finish, and you can find it on the sparkling, you find it on the Chardonnay, on the still Chardonnay, and you find it also on the Pinot Noir. That's terroir right there. So yeah, that's for Canyon View. And the other vineyard that they farm, it's their own vineyard, their home vineyard, which is the Elysia vineyard, and where they grow the Syrah, but they also grow the Pinot Noir. Now, are you ready for the hot take?
Yeah, this is the hot take. So we get the 2 Pinots, right? And look at this, look at this, look at this. That platinum, right? That platinum award, that's for one of those Pinots, isn't it?
Yeah. So at the recent National Wine Align, the Canyon View, the 2022, this very wine here, okay, the 2022 Canyon View Pinot Noir won platinum, 94 points. It was the highest rated Pinot Noir of the 2022, of the 2025 Wine Align Award, the highest rated Pinot Noir, 94 points. Here you go. You have it here. It's in the feature. And also, $38. This is quite something of a price for for a platinum award.
Plus tax. He's always but yeah, still for a platinum award winning wine, this is pretty reasonable.
Okay.
And especially given that previously, when we featured the winery that was making the Canyon View Pinots and Chards previously, we featured Giant's Head 3-4 years ago when they were making those wines. And at that time, 3-4 years ago, their Canyon View Pinot was double that price.
Yeah, they were close to $70. And it was one of the first super premium wine that were like, holy smokes. Right? Remember? That was a hot take on his own. That was a hot.
Don't tell anyone, you guys. Don't tell Ron at Lightning Rock or Sébastien. But that Pinot could go for a lot more.
So we managed to have one Pinot of each, right? One of the Canyon View and one of the Elysia Vineyard, both 2022. So Elysia won silver medal at the Wine Align this year. Okay, both same vineyard again, both same vineyard, both same vintage. They are
not the same vineyard, not the same vineyard.
So no, sorry, same vintage, same grape. I mean, sorry about that. Oof, thank you for. They're 800 meters. These two vineyards are kind of like less than a kilometer apart. Canyon View, it's on the bowl where it's like a heat bowl. Elysia Vineyard is on the slope with just the east facing, completely different, like sun inclination, completely different angle.
That's where we are there. And it's also where the Syrah is.
So, where is the hot take? Because we took the Canyon View to Niagara for our Burgundy showdown. We did. The wine show very, very well. People were fairly impressed with that. Now, for the last 48 hours, I've been tasting these two wines side by side, doing tasting notes and scores. And obviously, like I knew I don't look for score before I taste, but I knew the platinum. It made all of the big headline. I knew that Elysia Vineyard won silver. So I'm tasting both side by side. And there's what happened this morning at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m., I'm sitting there refreshing, trying to taste again. And Mira, what did I tell you?
You were like, I like Elysia better than the Canyon View. They're both really good. But, and I know that one won silver, one won platinum, but he's like, especially if you're going to cellar these wines, he said I would go with the Elysia. And I tasted them myself blind, and I had the same opinion. I felt Elysia had more structure, it had more complexity, it was more like nuanced and interesting. Not to say Canyon View is not a phenomenal Pinot Noir. It is. It's drinking really well right now. And the other one, Elysia, is drinking well right now, but it also gives us the feeling, big time, that it has a lot more ahead of it.
So I go back and forth, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, screw that. Like, fuck wine line. I mean, I know what's in front of me. I know what's my palate is telling me. And I'm like, hey, and Amir and I always like followed our guts, and that it's our score, it's our belief, that's who we are. And I'm not going to follow any other people. Like this is, let's go. And I'm like, wait a minute. Stop it. And I'm putting my tasting notes together, and yeah, I have a point ahead on the Elysia, and I'm just trying to rationalize that. And I'm like, whoa, first and foremost, yeah, Canyon View is great to drink now. Fruity, good, great length, beautiful fruit, all on red fruit. I mean, New World style, a little warmer, and like super approachable. And I can see why judges will be super pleased with that. This is a crowd pleaser. Fantastic. And I'm tasting the Elysia up, and I'm like, there is much more, there's more complexity. There's definitely the structure, brighter acid, stiffer tannin. And I'm like, this wine will age. Like, this is not even close to be at peak. I mean, this wine is just a little baby crawling right now. And I mean, in like, this wine will go the distance for at least a decade without the shadow of a doubt. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I went 93 plus for the Elysia Vineyard. Wonderful expression of Summerland, cold climate Pinot Noir, much more Burgundian style, much more old world, and with the Canyon View, it's a little bit more Oregon style, a little bit more New World, approachable, fruity. I mean, world class, definitely world class, but tasting the same grape varietals from the vineyard 1 kilometer apart. Well, I would say one here and one up here. And you're like, wow, this is so freaking cool. Now, to finish the whole story, we're at the winery this afternoon. We're talking with Sébastien.
Well, you don't need to tell them, because we've got the interview right here. So,
oh yeah, we have an interview to show.
Yeah, so you guys can hear Sébastien's hot take, his reaction to Carl's hot take on the 2 Pinot Noirs. See if Sébastien agrees or not that Carl thought the Elysia Vineyard should be rated higher than the Canyon View, even though at Wine Align it was the opposite. So we'll see what his reaction to the hot take is. But we're also going to hear from Sébastien some interesting things about the 2 vineyard sites, about the Syrah, kind of why they keep making it, even though it's a problem child. As we know, Syrah is challenging to grow in Canada, and especially in Summerland, but great results. And so, yeah, let's hear from Sébastien Hotte. Now, he's been in the Okanagan for quite some time. I think he'll talk about that a bit more. At which wineries can we say, Carl? Because he's quite an accomplished winemaker, and he recently joined Lightning Rock. So he was out in
Yeah,
the
before he did almost a 10 years, sorry, there's a flight. There's a stupid fly in my wine here. Okay, and I go, yeah. There you go.
there you go.
He spent almost 10 years in the Thompson River Valley. So
Thompson
he was at Harper Trail in Kamloops. So he spent lots of time.
Cool.
But before that, he was in the Okanagan. Spent almost a decade at the Harper's Trail and Harper Trails, and came back to the Okanagan almost 3 years ago to take over at Lightning Rock.
All right. Well, let's hear more about their story. Let's hear Sebastian's reaction to Carl's hot take, and just a fun conversation between what turns out to be two French Canadians. So here we go.
Carl's Wine Club member. I'm on the Summerland bench up here, 10 minutes from our backyard by the lake. We're at Lightning Rock Winery with Sébastien Hotte. Sébastien, thanks for having us.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. What a beautiful spot here on the Summerland bench. Amazing view. We are sitting on the Alicia Vineyard.
Yes.
Here, right next to the Pinot Noir vines, which are going to be picked in the next week.
I think 10 days.
10 days?
7 to 10 days, I think we'll be ready. We're sampling the vineyard today. I think we're just there. We're around like 22 bricks, and I like to be around 22 to 23, which should give us a potential alcohol between 12 to 13%. So just there.
So Sébastien is a fellow French Canadian. Your accent is much tamer than mine, so probably probably closer to the Ontario border. I think you're born and raised in Ontario, right?
Yes, exactly. So
same background, restaurant industry. We're both from the restaurant industry. You've decided to dig deep into the winemaking part. When was it?
2014 was my first vintage, and it started as an internship, and that internship led into a career. People that are in the restaurant industry, like me and you, that were involved in the somm side or the wine side, feel like we tend to be overly passionate about what we do and overly curious. And then I became extremely curious about winemaking. So then all my life was based on like, I need to learn more about this winemaking and how we do things. And yeah, I went in and never left.
I think you started in the Thompson River Valley.
Yeah, I started in the Okanagan, then moved to the Thompson River Valley. Which is really interesting, learning really cool climate. You sometimes say like the Okanagan can be considered a cool climate, but compared to there, it's not. Lots of the winter pressures that we saw here in the last few years, Thompson Valley sees those every year. So you're farming a little bit differently, which was sort of a good setup for moving back to the Okanagan. And dealing with what we had.
Okay, Lightning Rock. I mean, I think the Canyon View Vineyard was planted in 03. This property was planted in 06.
Yeah, a few years apart.
Yeah, so how about you tell us a little bit about how Lightning Rock came to be one of the flagship of Summerland?
Yeah, so Lightning Rock was founded in 2017 by Ron Quebec and his daughter Jordan. And it started as a family business. It still is a family business. Ron is quite heavily involved with us, as well as his wife Tracy. Jordan moved on to start her own little micro brand where she wanted to focus on even smaller production and different varietals. And I took over production in 23, finishing the 22 wines. So some of the wines that will be in the pack are sort of a mixture of me coming in and finishing them and 100% me and a little bit of Jordan as well.
That's exciting because that's funny when you mention smaller production. We have some wines in that feature, which 50 cases made and all that. So this is when we look at what we do across the country, that's what we call micro production.
Yes.
Really interesting. How about we talk about Summerland? Because I've been pounding the table at least in the last year and a half that Summerland should be known across the country as one of the emerging regions for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. I believe of what we do in the Garden Valley, and what we do here in Summerland Bend, Summerland Lakefront, the potential for what we do here is absolutely astonishing. So
I think some of the uniqueness of Summerland that people don't realize is we're not just one microclimate. We're full of these little mini microclimates because of how the glaciers move through and dig all these sort of valleys. Then you have these little microclimates that are quite suitable for Pinot. It is cooler area. So it's not going to be as warm as sort of Naramata because we get the morning sun, not the afternoon sun, which for me makes it ideal for Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Pinot Blanc. Sort of what you would think normally see in Burgundy or in Champagne. And once people start sampling the wines from Summerland and seeing what the wineries are doing, I think people are sort of often blown out by the quality. Generally speaking, there's no big wineries in Summerland. All of our neighbors are all similar to us, small, family-owned. We'll often borrow equipment from each other, which is nice. There's a good camaraderie for us.
I mean, now you guys focus on single varietal, single vineyard wine, mostly what you do. It's all about precision, vibrant wine, low alcohol. That's the motto. That's your your philosophy.
I like some brightness, some freshness, moderate alcohols, obviously. And I feel that's the best way to showcase the vineyard sites. So we have the Alicia property and the Cannon View property. Total, we farm ourselves 3 vineyards. I think 2 are going to be showcased in the pack. And both properties that are showcased, the Alicia property is sort of east facing, looking at the morning sun. It is quite shallow granite soils compared to the Cannon View property, which is south facing in a different valley, really warmer sites. You're going to get quite different expressions of Pinot Noir. As a winemaker, there's nothing better than bottling these single vineyards and seeing what we farmed, how different they taste, even though we made everything the same in the cellar. We do the same in the vineyard as well. We try to farm similarly, and it's really the site that's speaking for itself and not the human hand.
So here it's Alicia. We can see it. I mean, this soil is really like
there's not much.
There's not much right here. Cannon View down below. In the bowl this way. This way. In the bowl, right by Trout Creek.
Exactly. It's on the precipice of Trout Creek. Cannon View has, obviously some all has these sort of like sandy soil, but Cannon View has a bit more richness to it, a little bit of more organic matter. Because we're on the edge of Trout Creek, there's nice airflow movement to it. But it is south facing, really warmer. So you're going to get sun all day. As here, we're going to get sun. So maybe like 4 or 5, then the sun goes behind the mountains and we're back into the shade. Get lots of retention of acidity. But sort of a bit less riper tannins, and Cannon View more riper tannins, which does not mean for a bigger wine. Actually, for us, it's going to make for a softer wine. As the tannins have more time to ripen and develop. So in your wine, it's a bit soft.
Let's get the cat out of the bag, okay? Because I had a hot take. The last couple of days I've been debating with Mira. I'm like, okay, Cannon View Pinot Noir has just won platinum. 94 points at Wine Line. I mean, it made the national media, the pride of Summerland. And I've been tasting the 22. Alicia, side by side alongside Cannon View. And I've been back. We took Cannon View to a masterful tasting in Niagara a couple of weeks ago. Everyone loved it so much. And and this morning I told Mira, I'm like, I think I have a controversial point here. I rated higher Alicia Vineyard than Cannon View Vineyard. I had a 93 plus point with Alicia and a 92 plus or 93 point with the Cannon View. I just thought, personally, Alicia had more structure, had the acid. I love the earthiness of Alicia. I like the long-term potential. So now you tell me if I'm completely out for lunch.
Oh, no. Or as we discussed prior to this conversation, I think you were not out for lunch at all. Your hot take is my hot take. But it's also not everybody else's hot take, which is the fun thing about these 2 vineyards is you're able to sort of choose the one that you prefer. And then year by year, you notice the differences are the same. Obviously, Alicia with the shallow soils and cooler sites, going to be a bit more tannic, but darker fruit, more age-worthy. When guests come to our winery and they get to try both wines side by side, I often tell them that the Alicia is to put in the cellar and the Cannon View to enjoy now. So then you have to buy each. So one for now and one for the future.
And different style as well. Like, I mean, Cannon View more on fruit. Like you mentioned, riper talent, softer, approachable now. And the Alicia, to me, took me a little bit more in the old world. With the earthiness, the tannic structure, and the structure was just beautiful. So, big fan. One more thing that I want to talk about, it's the Syrah. So a Syrah from Summerland. When I saw Syrah in your portfolio, I was expecting it was a Syrah from the Golden Mile or a Syrah from the Naramata Bench or something. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This is Summerland Syrah. So half an acre of Syrah right next to the Pinot here at the
it's actually at the bottom.
At the bottom here?
It's where the lightning rock itself is. And the Syrah block is around 12 rows, 0.75 acres. And we unfortunately had to replant it this year.
Okay.
But what we've replanted is doing really good. And what your guests will be having will be some of the last of our original Syrah.
Okay.
But it's behind the rock side, the mountainside. So it's in a little bowl. So it actually is around like 2 to 3 degrees warmer than up here on any given day. So we're able to ripen the Syrah. Obviously, the Syrah will stay probably like a month to 6 weeks longer on the vines than the Pinot. We'll harvest later. And yeah, it's a struggle to keep it happy. We put lots of effort into it. It makes around 2 barrels per year.
Yeah.
Normally only wine club exclusive. So we're saying 50 cases.
Yeah.
It's not always the smartest decision to replant Syrah, but Ron and Tracy, it's their favorite wine. And we said, let's go for it. Let's try to do this again. We'll change our farming methods to adapt to sort of like the winters and the hot heat of the summer. So we'll be able to keep that wine in our portfolio.
And what I like, it's a little bit like well, the Pinot Noir is what like darker skin. Like this one is dark.
It's
dark,
Northern Rhone.
Yeah, 10% Viognier.
Yeah, 10% Viognier. Also, the Viognier was from our property as well. That is removed from the property now. Similar to the Syrah, did not do too good with the winter damage, but it's fine. We're going to interplant some. We've interplanted some Syrah with the Viognier, so that will be like a field blend in the future. But
truly Northern Rhone.
Yeah, and that 8 to 10% will it lifts the aromatic profile.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel it also helps to stabilize color. It's like it's not lightening the wine; it just makes the color sort of last longer too.
Yeah,
we do some whole cluster as well with it.
That's fun. I like how dark it is. I like the structure. I like the tannin. So it's not the fruit bomb Syrah.
No,
that's more of the earthy, leathery Syrah, Northern Rhone.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like to say that word, but I say this for 22 vintage was a good vintage as well. We're like it's not always going to showcase itself. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit sort of not as exuberant and more delicate, but 22 is the perfect example of a good warmer vintage for Syrah.
Concentrated. Yeah, I like the edges, very, very defined, wonderful Syrah. So, I mean, we're here, beautiful property, Alicia's Vineyard. Also, you guys, just one more point before I let you go. Let's talk about your sparkling project, because Lightning Rock is known to be a sparkling house.
Yes.
Also, so you have multiple single vineyard, single block type of
what we discussed with the Pinot Noir for the red wines, we do the same with our sparkling portfolio. Similar Pinot Noir, we just use different blocks in the vineyard. The blocks there tend to be a bit more, I would say, higher yielding. Find are perfect for Pinot Noir or for sparkling. I mean, and we will get the same noticeable differences in the sparkling profile than in the red wine profile. So the Canyon View with our Blanc de Noir will always showcase a bit sort of rounder, softer also because it's a bit warmer side. And the Elysia Blanc de Noir will be a bit more triangular. I like to describe shapes sometimes to explain to people.
Mira likes the dance shape. You like
the triangle. Okay. It hits all the corners of your mouth. But it's really fun to try these side by side, and then you try the red wines, and you're like the differences are the same from the Canyon View to Elysia on sparkling, Canyon View to Elysia on the Pinot. One is softer, rounder. One is more edgy.
Oh, but okay, fun side by side that I did personally. It's the Blanc de Blanc Canyon View 2020 Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And the 20 still Chardonnay. I tasted both side by side.
Yeah.
And when I like to, sometimes I have conversation with Thomas Batchelder, right? And when Thomas always said, try to notice some similarity in the wine, even if there's like from different vintage or from different type of grapes. But here I had same vintage, same grapes, but just different. Just winemaking style, right? Exactly. I had the bubbly traditional method and the still Chardonnay. I found that stony minerality of Canyon View came back, and there was that roundness, plushiness. Of Canyon View.
They're like siblings. They're not twins.
Yeah,
they're siblings. So you can see that they're from the same family, same pedigree. And Canyon View, we have been lucky. We've took it over Canyon View in 2019. It did have like a good pedigree before us. Totally. It was farmed by Garth Purdy for like its whole existence. Farmed organically like we do here. But you get this sort of like a nice minerality to this property that's present every vintage, which is quite nice because you do get a sense of place into the wine. And that's what we're all about, is sense of place and showcase what we do.
Micro production, single vineyard, single varietal, showcasing Summerland across the board, Pinot Noir, Chardonnays, also Syrah. But we also have access with some Cabernet Franc this week and a couple wines from the.
Oh, we got like a fun pack. We got a little bit of everything. I think sometimes we're also mad scientists. We do all these single vineyard wines, single vintage, single block this. So there's lots happening in the cellar. People that come and visit us at the winery, there's always something that they didn't expect that we're going to have open. Yeah, I like to have fun a little bit in the cellar. And
there's 5 wines. There's not available anywhere.
Yeah.
On the in the pack. So I mean,
Exactly.
If we're looking for something unique,
that's going to be unique.
That's going to be unique. Thank you, Sébastien.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Woo!
That was fun.
That was fun. He's a great person to chat with about wine. You can tell when someone, before they were a winemaker, they were a sommelier, because they're fun to chat with and they know a lot about the wines and know how to talk about it. Yeah, that's Sebastian's background, just like you, Carl.
Yeah. So we spoke the same. We get really speak the same language. So it was fun. It was really fun to have a chat with him at the winery. So I love the wine review, right? I mean, I love the different aspects. Like it's great to have it live. It's great to be here, to have the winemaker live, but it's also great to be on site. I truly enjoy that. So.
Yeah, very fun. Yeah. Daryl gets the prize. He gets the prize first order of the night before it's officially announced. And so I was like, has Purolator picked it up yet? Oh, they're not that fast. They're not that fast, but I'm sure.
Oh, I still have to drop off the 2 engraved bottle too, man.
You mean for his engraved bottles? Yes, that's.
Yes. They are engraved. They're in the box. They're packed. Oh my God!
So what I was saying is maybe there should be seller cash in Daryl's future, because maybe it will be ready by the time his Pinots pick up. So if you haven't heard about this yet, guys, we want to reinstate the great Canadian tradition of the Canadian Tire money that I hear now is worth more than the official Canadian money at auction. But yeah, we were like, there should be Carl's dollars, something like Carl's bucks, seller cash. I think seller cash.
How do you see that, guys? It would be great to have like a $20 Carl's cellar with Mira's, like the queen, right? And every box, like there's the Mira's queen type of like figure. Like that would be cool. So you can collect them and you can get some good discount on your wine. I mean, yeah. Mira came home one day, 3 weeks ago, with a golden gun. I'm like, what? And she had a smile on her face, but like a smile. I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I knew she had something in mind, and she was so excited. And she looked at me. She's like,
I saw this on Amazon. Like Amazon said me and was like, oh, Mira might like this. And I'm like, what's that? Oh, it's a money gun. So I was like, what could we do with the money gun? I'm like, oh, we could print Carl's dollars and shoot them at people with the money gun at tastings or something. I don't know. Sometimes I get crazy ideas. But anyway, I thought that one was pretty decent. Maybe we should follow up on it. Maybe we should. And
I think more we think about it, more we talk about it, more excited we get about it. So we're just gonna round up the concept and make sure that all of our members can start collecting Carl's dollars, Carl's bucks, Mira's bucks, whatever we want to call it. I think we should put a poll in our how should we call these discounts? Now, I hate the word discount, but these collectible little break on the price once in a while for our members. So
Carl's dollars. Yeah, so I think that you're right. We should put it in there. It was seller cash, cork cash, Carl's bucks, and then we'll see what other people come up with. Carl's bucks. Yeah, we'll put that as a poll. A poll. What we come up with. But anyway, the reason I got excited, because I thought it'd be kind of fun to, how on the normal dollars, Do I have a normal dollar here? No, I don't have my purse. But on the normal Canadian dollars, on one side they have like a monument or like, some Canadian monument or bird or something. And then on the other side they have like a person that's famous in Canada, you know? So I thought, oh, well, we could put like different winemakers and their vineyards, right? Or we could put like the winery of the year people. And
Or
cool.
if a member just booked for Burgundy, but we can put them on the dollar.
But anybody that's like an honored, esteemed person to Carl's Wine Club. And there's nothing that says that you can't like keep printing money all the time, right? So we can keep putting different people's faces on there. Might be kind of fun.
I mean,
If you
Justin
can get
Trudeau did it for 10 years.
to put his name. Did he have his face on there? I don't know. But you
No,
put other people.
he printed money. I said,
Oh yes, yes. So we're printing money too.
Gary, I can't talk about now. Can't do that. Can't do that. There you go. Woohoo!
Again, sounds like too much work. Well, not for you. You just like use the money. And for me, I got like a money printer. We discovered something crazy. Insider tip on like printing things. Our printer broke last week. We went to Staples. I picked up a $50 inkjet printer. Just, it came with 6 months of free ink. So I'm thinking like, so every 6 months I just buy a new printer and then I never have to buy ink again. Like, see how my brain works? Yes, exactly. Not a discount. We don't like discounts.
No, I hate discount.
Yes, so I'm like, so what can we do with the new printer that comes with unlimited free ink? It's hooked up to the Internet of Things, so it knows when the ink is running low, and it literally ships you new ink in time before it runs out. So
And you don't even need to order it. Like, I mean, it's connected straight to the freaking company.
So we can print as much Carl's money as we want.
Oh man, hey, this is Lightning Rock Week starting now. 9 wines in the pack. We have a platinum award winner in there. We have 93 points wine. We have a trio of Pinot Noir, 2022 Canyon View and 2022 Elysia Vineyard, which the hot take of the week, Carl rated the Elysia higher than the platinum, 94 points, Canyon View, and 2 incredible Pinot Noir, and also the cream of the crop of the Lightning Rock portfolio, the Pinot Noir Reserve from the 2019 vintage. I mean, the 6-year-old Pinot Noir from Block C of the Canyon View Vineyard, only 8 rows of really special spot in the Canyon View Vineyard. So that's our 3 Pinot Noir in the bonus option, 2 Syrahs, 2 Chardonnays, 1 Cab Franc. And I mean, it is an incredible feature, like beautiful Summerland terroir, and 5 wines that are not available anywhere. Small batches, 50 cases wines produced. I mean, if you look for something unique and highly rated and very rare, this is what we have this week. So it's really exciting. Super thrilled about these little micro production.
And of course, it's named after this rock that is in the vineyard that we went to right next to the Syrah block, the Syrah terraces, which was kind of fun. And then this is the best part. Carl being out of it. So much energy,
Oh my god, you're terrible. You are terrible. Oh my god. That's awesome. Yeah, I have 6 lines of actually it's 5 lightning rock. And do you notice you have a very different child in
Yeah.
your
So the last one is unlabeled. It's very, very different. Very.
very it's like you have like 5 blonde and blue eyes child, and you have one with black hair and black eyes, and you're like, where this one is coming from.
One is
I know it.
different.
This is the 2018 Midnight Black
Mm.
Syrah from Washington
Oh
State.
yeah.
There you go. So
From Tender Hope.
I went to see Effie in Kelowna over the weekend, and we had a nice chat. And I came back with the new vintage. Now they're done with their 2017 Midnight Black, which is a blend of 2 single vineyard in Washington State. Effie's been the first to do Okanagan wine, but also sourcing some of his grapes down to Washington State. They've been doing that for 10 years before shit hit the fan around here, and we have no grapes, and everyone was looking at Effie and say, hey, can you help us? Can you help us? But yeah, this is
Yeah.
yeah, and the 2018 is getting released now of the Midnight Black, and we had that on Saturday night, celebrating Mira's amazing accomplishment on a private contract that she finished, and we had that and a beautiful platter of cheese, and that was a nice treat here. The big bowl.
Syrah night, because that's a Syrah, and then we had the Lightning Rock Syrahs open too, which I really enjoy. And like Tracy was saying earlier, Syrah, one of my favorites, one of her favorites as a varietal, and boy, are there some good ones in Canada if you know where to look.
Yeah. So watch out. Watch your email.
I love that, Tracy.
Hey.
CC Cash. Watch it win the draw, or not the draw, the poll. I'll put a poll up, but like Tracy has a bit of a track record in the club here of winning lots of things. So, speaking of winners, I think we can mention without saying the last name, but Anthony and Judy in Victoria won the
Oh yeah.
for blue grouse for the
Not in
winery.
Victoria. They live in Vancouver. They live in Vancouver, not in Victoria.
In Vancouver. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, they won the golden ticket. So they literally opened their blue grouse package, and there was a big golden ticket in there, and it got them 3 nights, I think, at the spectacular blue grouse guest house, where they're right in the vineyard, and they've got these big plush king size beds with ensuite and kitchen and 2 nice en-suites like that. So they get to have a nice vineyard getaway soon. But they were pretty thrilled. So just thought you guys would want to know about that in case you're, opening your blue grouse 20 times and going, where is this golden ticket? Yeah, they got
Anthony
it.
and Judy won the prize, and they were pretty excited. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
That's part of the reason for the Carl's Cash is going to be if you don't get the golden ticket next time, maybe there's some golden Carl's dollars or something crazy like that as a consolation prize. So it gives us those flexibilities to, have a little extra fun, even if not everybody can have three nights at a luxury vineyard house, Some people can still have something cool.
No, but you can have 7 nights at a luxury chateau in Burgundy with us, with Fabian Rice and Stephanie Rice, owner of Ferox, with Richard and Twyla De Silva from the Silva Vineyard, with Mira Boucher and Carl Boucher, and
cheeses.
And also, 12 other couples from Carl's Wine Club. That's going to be an epic trip. The trip is filling up, and we are getting close to our site inspection, our first trip to Burgundy to go check it out, to go test the bed, to go pick up the chateau, to go test the cheese, because Mira will have to test all of the cheese that we're going to do. Mira needs to plan out the ladies' night. She needs to figure it out what she's going to do for the ladies' night.
Did you know something, Carl? Interesting. I have never in my life had caviar.
Oh, okay.
I've always been a very, very picky eater. Caviar grossed the hell out of me. I've had fish roe on top of sushi here and there, but I don't think that's considered quite caviar. So maybe that will be a first in Burgundy. What pairs well with caviar?
Bubbly.
I asked because he's mid.
Bubbly. You know what pairs well with caviar? This. Blanc de Blanc. The Blanc de Blanc cut straight through. Yeah, really, really good pairing. So I can tell you my fine dining background, that is an absolute no-brainer. No-brainer.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I'm just waiting for the Benjamin Bridge confirmation, but I got the list of wine and December 1st will be the feature with Benjamin Bridge with our current top rated wine of the year in the lineup. So what was that?
Nothing pairs well with caviar. It just goes on its own because it's so good. Kind of like the stinky cheeses. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. All right. Well, I just wanted to say, look at these beautiful flowers for those of you that like beautiful things. Aren't they lovely? Carl brought them for me. Thank you.
Oh,
very sweet.
Yeah, it was well deserved. It was well deserved. That's what happened when you share business with an amazing partner like Mira Boucher. And there you go, well-deserved flowers. So, and you have well-deserved Pinot Noirs and Syrahs in your glass right now. And yeah, let's enjoy our Wednesday night. Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher.
Carl Boucher.
See you next time.
Cheers.